Mocs football is back on track.
UTC begins to move towards a smoke-free campus by asking students for their opinions.
And members from the Mayor's Gang Task Force visited UTC to inform students on gang violence.
I'm Jay Rivera.
And I'm Heidi Brightman. Your news starts now.
Students from the School of Nursing want to raise awareness about the dangers of tobacco and secondhand smoke. Along with giving away cool prizes, the nursing students used carbon monoxide monitors to test students for CO2 levels. This effort was part of the Students' Community Service Project to encourage good health and have an impact on the Chancellor's decision for a tobacco-free campus policy. Roughly 30% of the nation's colleges are currently tobacco-free. Chattanooga State is tobacco-free.
So by doing this simple test, it only takes a minute. We measure your carbon monoxide level and we can tell if it's having an impact on your red blood cells' ability to carry oxygen. And for people who aren't smokers, and several of us were part of this, we're not smokers, and we were very surprised to see that we had elevated carbon monoxide levels. And that's due to secondhand smoke exposure, that's through carbon monoxide in traffic. We were incredibly surprised, and some of us were pretty disappointed to have higher CO levels than we thought we would.
A UTC professor says gang violence is a serious local issue.
English professor Madonna Kemp hosted a seminar on gang violence in Chattanooga. Members of the Mayor's Task Force visited UTC to inform the student body about gang violence.
It's a competitive balance, school and work. We expect these same kids who go through these situations, who get 2 hours of sleep every night, to go to school and compete with you guys. You guys, the kids who are coming up, who are motivated, who want to go, but you're still, it's the same competitive balance isn't the same. So these kids are hungry, they're tired, they come to school, they act out, and then we wonder why.
Other task force members emphasized the catalysts in gang recruitment of youth in the city and statistics showing who is most likely to join a gang. They also stated that finding your purpose is key to keeping you from falling into the traps of gang affiliation. What better way to show your Mocs spirit and sense of community than by helping others? The UTC Homecoming Student Steering Committee is hosting their University Service Day on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check-in is in the UC Tennessee room. To participate, please bring an old t-shirt to convert to a dog toy and a newspaper. This community service opportunity is open to students, faculty, staff, and alumni.
What does it take to make it into the communications field? UTC students got a chance to find out at the communications workshop. Professionals from News Channel 9, Nooga.com, and the communications director for the city of Chattanooga were just some of the participants at the workshop. The professionals spoke about what skill sets a student needs in order to land an internship and have a career in the communications field. Students then got the chance to ask questions like how to get over fears of failure.
Know that not doing everything perfectly is part of the process. That's why you're learning. That's how you learn. So you got. I mean, I have it. I'm a perfectionist. I like to know what I'm going to do and do it perfectly. But that's just not how it works.
The communications workshop also gave students a chance to make connections and build relationships. Another workshop is in the works, and Mocs News will keep you up to date.
Corker 2018 is not something Tennesseans should be expecting to hear in the next election cycle. Senator Bob Corker announced he will not be seeking re-election at the end of this current term. Senator Corker has served 2 terms as a senator for the state of Tennessee and has served as the chair for the State Foreign Relations Committee since 2015. Corker began his political career with a failed run for Senate in 1994, was the Commissioner of Finance and Administration for the state of Tennessee from 1995 to 1996, and was elected mayor of the city of Chattanooga in 2001, serving until 2005.
Vakar Polysilicon announced Tuesday they will be closing in Charleston, Tennessee plant for possibly several months. Vakar is investigating the cause of an explosion that happened on September 7th. They say that an equipment malfunction led to a hydrogen explosion at the plant, and chlorosylin leaked from damaged piping. This explosion was the second incident in 8 days at the Charleston plant. Vakar says that financial effects on this company from the explosion are expected to be minor.
A Chattanooga woman suffered from severe burns after an unidentified person threw an unknown liquid at her face early Tuesday morning. The suspect fled from the scene immediately. The Chattanooga police stated that the woman received serious injuries. No motive was reported to the police and no one else was injured on the scene.
Get your thumbs ready. Twitter is going to start allowing up to 280 characters per tweet. That's double the current limit. Some users already have the ability to tweet more characters, and all users are expected to be updated soon.
Tensions are rising between North Korea and the United States. The East Asian nation, under the rule of Kim Jong-un, was under the impression that the United States had made an informal declaration of war because of a misinterpretation of a tweet from President Donald Trump. The communist nation has been increasingly quick to talk of war in the last few months and in the process of testing and developing nuclear weapons.
Magazine mogul and Playboy founder Hugh Hefner has passed away. Hefner was an avid activist for same-sex marriage and racial equality. Hefner was found dead in his home, the Playboy Mansion. He was 91 years old.
Well, we've had a warm and muggy week here in the scenic city.
Let's go to Allie to see what this weekend looks like.
Thanks, ladies. This weekend we're going to have amazing weather for Saturday's Mocs Block festivities. With highs in the 80s and sunny skies, it'll be perfect weather for tailgating. And the rest of the week is going to follow the weekend's lead with sun and temperatures in the low 80s. With weather like this, how could you not want to sit in the crowd and root on our boys?
Thanks, Allie. Looks like we'll have great weather for all of the upcoming homecoming and sports events in the coming week.
And to find out more about those sporting events, we turn to our Jolie Poole.
Thanks, guys. The Mocs took on their conference opponent VMI and got their first win of the season by a score of 63-7. The Mocs got the lead after 2 quick touchdowns in the first quarter and went on to score 6 touchdowns in this game. Nick Tiano threw for 249 yards and 4 touchdowns. Bagley had 15 carries for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Mocs are currently in 4th place in the conference and look forward to keeping the momentum going to land a bowl game in this December. Mocs football is set to host Western Carolina for their first home conference game of the season. The Mocs and the Catamounts are tied in the SoCon standings. Kickoff's at 6 p.m., but don't forget about the Mocs Block tailgate, the Mock Walk, and a host of other events before the game begins. If you're not interested in driving, shuttle buses will run from campus to Finley Stadium beginning at noon. So rep the Power C, wear your blue and gold, and head over to Finley Stadium to support your Mocs. Chattanooga Mocs volleyball claimed their first Southern Conference win over the UNCG Spartans after losing their SoCon opener to the Western Carolina Catamounts. The Mocs almost came away with a win in their 5-set match against Western Carolina last week. Leaders for the Mocs were Allie Ford with a career-high 21 kills, Megan Kaufman with 42 digs, and Lauren Greenspoon with 43 assists. The Mocs are now 1-1 in their Southern Conference season and look to secure SoCon win number 2 on the road against Citadel tonight at 6 p.m. Chattanooga Soccer came away with their first Southern Conference win while on the road at Western Carolina Sunday. With less than 4 minutes on the clock, Arnold took the unassisted game-winning shot to bring the Mocs to a 1-0 victory over Western Carolina. Leaders of the game were Arnold with 2 shots and 1 goal, Catherine Meyer with 2 shots, and goalie Bailey Coppage with 4 saves. This win improves Chattanooga's SoCon standings to a 1-1, and they look to keep the momentum going as they take on the Sanford Bulldogs tonight at 8 p.m. That's it for your Mock Sports this week. Tune in next week. Back to you guys.
Fall is in full effect in the Scenic City, and here are a few things we think you should check out this weekend.
We will cross over into October this weekend, and you know what that means. It's Halloween season, and you can head up to Ruby Falls Haunted Cavern for a scary good time. The Haunted Cavern will be open Thursdays through Sundays until Halloween. Admission is $20 a person. Next week, our Emma Howland will have an exclusive look at this year's theme.
But before we get into the Halloween spirit, it's time for one last September hurrah. The Mountain Opry is having their last concert for the year at 8 p.m. at the Walden Ridge Civic Center. Stop by for some down-home bluegrass and old-time acoustic bands.
It's Sweeps Week, the time of the year when all your favorite TV shows come back on the air and your new favorites premiere. Friday night's Marvel's Inhumans premieres on ABC, and the Magic School Bus Rides Again pulls into Netflix. Saturday Night Live makes its return this weekend with host Ryan Gosling and musical guest Jay-Z. And Sunday night on Fox, get ready for some laughs as Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons, and Family Guy all return for a new season. And a new comedy show, Ghosted, about 2 ghost hunters will also make its premiere.
If you want to add a little more comedy to your night before Saturday Night Live comes on, stop by JJ's Bohemia at 9 p.m. for a special comedy fighting event that will benefit the victims of recent hurricanes. Admission is $10 at the door.
And as always, close out your weekend with the Chattanooga Market. This weekend is the Culture Fest, which will include a parade of nations, unique foods, and more than 200 local multicultural leaders.
That wraps up this edition of Chattanooga and this edition of Mocs News. Thank you guys for joining us. Check out our videos uploaded throughout the week to YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe.
Tune in and have a great weekend from all of us here at Mocs News.